You're muted, Dan.
Hey, Dan, you're on mute.
Okay, I'm all right now, right?
Dan, we're still waiting for okay from Janine and Ashley as to if we can proceed.
Okay, well, good. I had got lost in the internet there somewhere.
Hey, Dan, this is Ashley. We're live on YouTube, so I guess we can start whenever you're ready.
Are the members here?
Yes, Mr. President.
All right, thank you very much. All right, calling to order the County Council's regular meeting for Tuesday, August the 4th, 2020. Clerk, would you please call the roll?
Calling the roll, Ms. Conwell.
Present.
Mr. Jones.
Here.
Ms. Brown. Here. Ms. Stevens.
Present.
Ms. Simon.
Here.
Ms. Baker. Ms. Baker, I see you, so I'm assuming you're here. Mr. Miller?
Here.
Sorry, here.
It's okay. Mr. Tuma?
Here.
Mr. Gallagher?
Here.
Mr. Schron?
Here.
And Council President Brady?
Here.
You have a quorum.
All right, thank you. Is there any public comment for the regular meeting, Madam Clerk?
Yes, Mr. President, I received comment via email from Ms. Lou regarding her concerns at the Women's Homeless Shelter.
All right, thank you very much. Could I have a motion to approve the minutes as printed on the agenda? Moved, and I'll second.
Okay.
All right, all those in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, the minutes are approved. Is there a message from the county executive today?
Yes, Mr. President, thank you.
Yes.
We have an election coming up in 3 months. Our charter protects the right to vote and provides that the county has an obligation to promote voter participation. We're likely to still be in the midst of the coronavirus pandemic, which will create dangers for in-person voting. So we're encouraging people to contact the Board of Elections, which they can do right now, to get their application for an early vote ballot. But many folks will still choose to vote in person on Election Day. The Board of Elections is getting ready, but they're concerned that they won't have enough people to work at the polls. That's especially a concern because many of the people who regularly work the polls are older and more at risk for COVID. A shortage of poll workers means that polling places might have to be consolidated, and fewer polling places could mean very long lines. Today before you is legislation which would allow county employees to work at the polls on Election Day. This legislation is consistent with the position of Ohio Secretary of State Frank LaRose. He recently issued a plea to counties, and I'll quote, "One of the most important things you can do at the county level is to give your employees the day off to serve as poll workers. Please consider giving your staff a day for democracy, as their service is needed now more than ever." I want to join with Secretary LaRose to ask your support today for 2020-0161, the legislation before you. We must do all we can to ensure smooth operations for the upcoming election. And I hope you'll all enjoy your well-earned recess. Thank you.
Thank you, County Executive. Legislation introduced by the Council, consideration of a resolution of Council for first reading and adoption. I don't believe, Madam Clerk, I don't believe you need to read this into the record because you tell me. We had a good discussion in the Executive Committee about 01060 regarding the 19 employees of the Veterans Service Commission, and the Council will take no action on this collective bargaining agreement.
Mr. President, I do believe that I should read it into the record.
All righty.
Even though you're not taking, if you're not taking action otherwise. So resolution number 2020-0160, approving a collective bargaining agreement between Cuyahoga County Veterans Service Commission and American Federation of State, County, and Municipal Employees, Ohio Council 8, representing approximately 19 employees in various classifications for the period August 4th, 2020 through August 3rd, 2023.
All right. Committee report and consideration of a resolution of council for second reading adoption under suspension of the rules. Could I have a motion to suspend the rules?
Mr. President, I move to suspend the rules.
Second.
And moved and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, the ayes have it. The rules are suspended.
Aye.
Madam Clerk,
Resolution number 2020-0147, adopting various changes to the Cuyahoga County non-bargaining classification plan.
Move to adopt.
Second.
moved and seconded.
Council President, this was heard in the Human Resources Appointment and Equity Committee meeting. There were a couple changes made to the class plan. We also made an amendment that was unanimously supported by the committee members to hold off on the deletion of some unclassified positions as we're working through some legislation with the administration with regards to the classification plans on unclassified positions. So with that said, I will respectfully request the rest of my colleagues' support.
Thank you. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed, the ayes have it. The resolution is adopted. Legislation introduced by the executive, consideration of resolutions for first reading adoption under suspension of rules. Could I have a motion to suspend the rules?
Mr. President, I move to suspend the rules.
Second.
Moved and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, the ayes have it. The rules are suspended.
Resolution number 2020-0161, establishing the terms and conditions authorizing county employees to serve as precinct elections officials on November 3rd, 2020, without loss of the employee's regular compensation, and additionally receiving the compensation paid to precinct election officials. Additionally, Councilmember Miller has requested to be a sponsor to this item.
Move to adopt.
Second.
Moved
Simon.
and seconded. We have, you have a question, Councilwoman Simon?
I was
We have-
seconding.
Oh, I'm sorry. Thank you very much. We have the Board of Elections Executive Director, Mr. Perlatti, to address the council regarding this item. Is he here?
I am here, President.
Okay, thank you. Would you explain this to our members?
So in every countywide election, the Board of Elections needs to hire about 4,000 poll workers to work the polls on election day. We are required to hire 4 precinct election officials per precinct, and we have 975 precincts in our county. In a single precinct location, we try to hire 6 because that better facilitates the voting process for voters. Currently, our poll workers get paid a minimum of $172. In order to get our 4,000 mark, we need to hire more than that, typically about 4,500, because we have to account for call-offs and no-shows that happen on election day. So this is always a challenging task, but during this pandemic it becomes even more challenging. As we fill our precincts, we cannot have more than 2 individuals of the same political party in a precinct. So this way we make sure that we have bipartisanship in all polling locations. As Executive Budish says, our poll workers typically are older individuals, and most of them are over the age of 60 and at risk. This was something that was in play for the spring primary that was supposed to happen on March 17th. And the day right before the election, we had 600 individuals call off on that single day. If we had to execute that election on the 17th, it would have been very, very challenging. We have surveyed our poll worker population, individuals who have worked in the last few elections, and we have about a positivity rate of about 70% who are willing to come back and work this fall. Typically, it's 85%. So we're a little bit lower than where we need to be, and a lot of this can be attributed or solely attributed to the pandemic. So county employees, there was a program over a decade ago where they were able to do what Executive Budish had proposed or introduced today. And this will be one of the pieces that will help us get to that number that we need to get. And it's critical that we do that because we have a little over 300 polling locations that we plan to open on election day. I can only open those locations though if I have workers to staff it. And that's something I won't know until a week or 2 weeks prior to election day if I have that staff. And so we don't want to close polling locations because that will create voter confusion trying to relocate them. This program here will help us fill that gap, to make up the other 30% that we need to get to. It'd be great if it filled all of them, but I'm being realistic. And if that does a portion of it, that helps us as we also reach out to other nonprofit and volunteer organizations to try to see if we can't get some of their workforces and volunteer workforce to help close the gap on that 4,000 workers that we need.
Okay, questions by the council on this legislation?
Council President, this is Councilwoman Brown.
Councilwoman Brown, yes.
Thank you. Mr. Pilati, you indicated that you may have to reduce polling locations. Can you restate that deadline again before you have to make that determination?
So currently the Secretary of State is requiring that we have all of our poll workers trained by October 15th. And he has put out that date there because he wants every county to see where do you stand with your workforce. So that would probably be the first point in time where I would know, okay, this is how many workers I have. And then I can start to do some calculations to see what can stay open and what can't stay open. That's only two weeks away from election day.
Yeah.
So it will be a very tight time frame. Doesn't mean that he won't make an exception and we try to get out and find more. But again, at that point, it's a lot of unknowns. The sooner we can fill this up, we don't worry about that. Everybody goes to where we instruct them to go about a month out and election day happens. But unfortunately, this is something that it's a moving target and I really won't know until probably 1 to 2 weeks out really what it's going to look like. And those horror stories that you hear about in other states, that can happen. But if I have enough workers, enough poll workers, then that gives me the ability to keep poll places open. So.
Thank you. I don't think it's any reflection on you or the Board of Elections if we don't meet that number. It is a real concern that you would have that narrow of a window to identify to individuals that their polling location may have changed. So I just wanted to make sure I was clear when I heard you on that. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Councilwoman. Other questions by the council?
Mr. President, Sonny.
Councilman Simon.
Thank you. I just want to thank the executive for introducing this. I'd like to add my name, but how will the employees of the county be informed of this opportunity? Through our newsletter, through an email? How are we going to encourage people to do this or make them aware?
Who can speak to that?
The executive.
He could, but I'm not sure he's still with us.
I saw him.
You're muted, Mr. Executive.
Is there anybody from the administration that can speak to this?
Just threw him.
Mr. Bush, you're muted. There you go.
Am I okay now?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
There's some things I can do and some things I'm not good at, and this is one. So the answer is every way we can, Councilwoman. We'll use the newsletter. We'll use separate emails. We'll, every chance we get, our communications department is on top of it and is preparing to let people know. We'll put something up on the website. We have lots of communications with the employees and we'll use all of them.
Thank you.
Thank you, Councilwoman. Any other questions by members of the council?
Yeah,
Mr. President.
My name.
I'm sorry, a few people are. Councilman Schron, were you trying to seek?
I was, yes. Yeah.
Okay, I'll start with you.
Okay, all right. There was a request by the Ohio Supreme Court to get volunteers to come forward from the ranks of the Bar Association. Do you know if they have stepped up at all in response to that? Because it sounds like that was a big push by the Ohio Supreme Court to get attorneys to fill in your ranks too.
I can just add that it's my understanding the Supreme Court is offering I think, 4 CLE credits to attorneys that agreed to work on election day. I don't know what their
Yes.
response.
Okay.
All right. Other members, I'm a little, couldn't quite tell who was asking for attention. I mean,
Mr. President Parnell.
Councilman Jones.
Thank you. And I'm not sure who this question is directed to, but will those who are seeking the jobs, will they be given what a safe protocol is on election day, what it looks like, give them a sense of what they will be walking into in terms of a safe environment for themselves on election day?
I can start with that. So we are informing our poll workers, our precinct election officials, of some of the supplies that will be provided to them and educating them on some of the measures that we're taking to set up the polling location. So for example, all of our poll workers will be issued 2 disposable masks. They'll have a face shield. There will be a hand sanitizer pump at every check-in station. So they will know they'll have that. They'll have gloves available if they wish to use those. Voting booths will be cleaned in between every voter using them. So we'll spray rubbing alcohol onto those booths to sanitize them. We've purchased floor markings that say social distancing, keep 6 feet. We'll lay those out. So we're doing what we can to kind of what you see in a retail store as far as spacing, but then we're also going to provide these supplies to all of our poll workers. The whole poll place is set up in a socially distant manner. The voting booths will all be 6 feet apart. So these are all things that during training that will be gone over with all the poll workers so they understand what is available and what will be provided and what the expectations are. But we're also looking to hire a standalone individual, and we're trying to get at least 2 per polling location. They won't be poll workers. Their whole function is to work as a sanitation election official. And all they do all day is they walk around, they spray handles, they spray voting booths, flat surfaces. We're going to do some of those things. We're going to have enough pens where individuals who come, we give them a pen, they vote their ballot with it, and then they take it with them. We don't want it back because we don't want to clean it or have people question, you know, is that clean or not? We're coming up with some different ways for individuals to sign the poll book, again, to keep the voter safe, keep the poll worker safe. They can wrap a Kleenex around their finger and use that instead of a styli. And there's some other things that we're doing, like rubber fingers that will read on the books. So we're doing all these different things. Poll workers will be aware of that. As we recruit, we want to make sure that we educate them on the tools that we are providing them so they feel that they are coming in to a safe environment and they have some of these PPE tools to execute an election in a safe manner.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Was there someone else? Okay, hearing none. All those in favor say aye.
Oh, sorry, Council President.
I'm sorry.
To add my name. Is that what you wanted, Yvonne?
Stevens.
Yes, add my name. Brady.
Okay, add Councilwoman Conwell and Councilwoman Stevens' name.
And
legislation. Jones. Then Jones. Okay, all right. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, the ayes have it. The resolution is adopted.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you very much. Clerk, would you please read the next item into the record? Madam Clerk?
You're muted, Gene.
Thank you. I caught myself now.
Okay.
Resolution number 2020-0162, amending the 2020-2021 biennial operating budget for 2020 by providing for additional fiscal appropriations for appropriation transfers and for cash transfers.
Move to adopt.
Second, Conwell.
Been moved and seconded.
Mr. President, my colleagues, this resolution is the regular monthly fiscal agenda. Questions have been directed to OBM and the answers have been distributed to all members. Some items are routine transfers and grant applications, but several are noteworthy. The $12.9 million appropriation for Metro is an advance payment of money for health care for contractual obligations for the current year and is not a new item. $2,385,000 is appropriated for the county's participation in Say Yes to Education to continue our efforts and hire 26 additional family support specialists. The $1,437,000 property tax item for the Hilton Hotel is a purely technical correction. A prior appropriation included this item with debt service and must be moved out of the debt service fund into the correct fund for the property tax payment. The probate court receives $150,000 to purchase additional computers needed because of COVID-19. There is a $245,000 appropriation increase in the general fund and a corresponding decrease in the real estate assessment fund. A fiscal office review determined that 3 employees' duties do not meet the requirements to be paid from the real estate assessment fund and their costs are being transferred to the general fund. I recommend passage of the fiscal agenda on first reading suspension.
Any questions by the council? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, the ayes have it. The resolution is adopted. Thank you, Councilman.
Resolution number 2020-0163, authorizing an amendment to a memorandum of understanding and agreement among Cuyahoga County, Say Yes to Education, and Cleveland Municipal School District for the Say Yes Cleveland Strategy Program for the period July 24, 2019 through July 23, 2020, to extend the time period to July 23, 2021, to add Breakthrough Public Schools as a party, and to change the terms to establish funding responsibilities during year 2 of the program, effective July 24, 2020, accepting payments in the amount not to exceed $1,207,142.86 from Cleveland Municipal School District, and in the amount not to exceed $92,857.14 from Breakthrough Public Schools for said program, authorizing a payment in the amount not to exceed $3,800,000 to College Now Greater Cleveland as fiscal agent of Say Yes to Education.
Move to adopt.
Second.
Been moved and seconded. I know that we had a discussion about this in Health and Human Services, Madam Chairperson,
Yes.
Conwell, and we also have David Merriman here if there are questions by others. Do you have any comments on this, Councilwoman Conwell?
No, you stated it. We had it in committee on the 29th. And also Diane Downing is here, the director, and Victor Young, which is the director of programs. He's also available to answer any questions.
Thank you, Councilwoman. Are there any questions by the council?
I have one question.
Councilwoman Baker.
Thank you. I'm just curious to know how many public charter schools are in the Say Yes to Education. How many do we have? Do we have a number of them and Breakthrough is just added to that list?
Mr. Merriman.
You're muted.
Do we have someone here from the administration?
We do. Thank you very much. David Merriman, Director of Health and Human Services. To the Councilwoman, to the Chair, I'd like to ask Diane Downing to address the question. That CMSD is the principal partner for the county. However, Breakthrough is a charter school. They have an affiliation with the CMSD. They will also be coming on as a partner. So that is the principal. Breakthrough is the charter school system that we are working with at this time. Diane, would you add anything else to that description?
We will be in 3 of the Breakthrough charter schools this fall.
Are they the only 3? Do we have any public charter schools?
Madam Councilwoman, not that I am aware of. There is a vetting and approval process, and Breakthrough has qualified as partnering charters for Say Yes.
All right, thank you.
All right, any further questions? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? The ayes have it. Resolution is adopted.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Consideration of resolutions for first reading and referral to committee.
Resolution number 2020-0164, confirming the county executive's appointment of Janine S. Kaiser to serve on the City of Cleveland, Cuyahoga County Workforce Development Board for an unexpired term ending June 30, 2021.
And this will go to Human Resources Appointments and Equity Committee.
Resolution number 2020-0165, confirming the county executive's appointment of Verna D. Darby to serve on the Division of Children and Family Services Advisory Board for an unexpired term ending February 28, 2023.
This will also go to HR.
Resolution number 2020-0166, confirming the county executive's reappointment of Erica L. Anthony to serve on the Cuyahoga County Public Defender Commission for the term January 1, 2020 through December 31, 2023.
This will also go to HR.
Resolution number 2020-0167, authorizing an amendment to contract number CE 1700-154 with Case Western Reserve University for fiscal agent services in connection with facilitation of the First Year Cleveland Initiative for the period June 1, 2016 through December 31, 2019, to extend the time period to December 31, 2021, and for additional funds in the amount not to exceed $1 million.
And this will go to Health and Human Services. Committee reports and consideration of resolutions for second reading.
Resolution number 2020-0158, approving proposed amendments to the subdivision platting rules for the unincorporated areas of Cuyahoga County.
And this item will move to the September 15th council agenda for consideration for third reading adoption.
Resolution number 2020-0159, authorizing a contract with Court Community Service Incorporated in the amount not to exceed $555,000 for court community placement and supervision services for probationers referred by the court in connection with the Community Works Service Placement and Supervision Program for the period January 1, 2021 through December 31, 2023.
And this item will also move to the September 15th council agenda for consideration for third reading adoption. Committee reports and consideration of resolutions for second reading adoption under suspension of the rules. Could I have a motion to suspend the rules?
Mr. President, I move to suspend the rules.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, the ayes have it. Rules are suspended.
Resolution number 2020-0151, fixing the 2021 water, storm, and sanitary sewer maintenance and/or sewerage treatment rates for county sewer district numbers 1, 1A, 2, 3, 5, 8, 9, 13, 14, 18, 20, 21, 22, and 24 in accordance with the Ohio Revised Code, section 6117.02.
Motion to adopt.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Councilman.
Mr. President, this R2020-0151 and its companion piece R2020-0152, there are annual requirements by the state for setting and approving the sewer rates for these various municipalities. And I would ask my colleagues for movement on this on second reading suspension.
Mm-hmm. And you don't have a substitute today, right?
Actually, I think I do.
Okay.
Sorry about that.
Would you like to move the substitute then?
Yes, I'll make a motion to accept the substitute.
All right.
Second.
Second.
Been seconded. Any discussion on the proposed substitute? Hearing no.
No.
All those in favor of accepting the proposed substitute, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed. Any further discussion? All those in favor of adopting the resolution on its merits as substituted? Aye.
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 No opposition. The legislation is adopted on its merits as substituted. Was there anything further, Councilman Tuma, or are we good?
No, we're good.
All right, thanks.
Thanks.
Resolution number 2020-0152, approving and confirming the 2021 water, storm, and sanitary sewer maintenance and/or sewerage treatment assessments for county sewer district numbers 1, 1A, 2, 3, 5, 8, 9, 13, 14, 18, 20, 21, 22, and 24 in accordance with Ohio Revised Code, section 6117.02.
And I understand there's a substitute for this as well. I'll make a motion. No, there's no substitute for this.
No. No.
At least this is on YouTube. So,
Yeah.
okay. Then I'll make a motion to accept our 2020-0152 on second reading suspension.
Second.
All right. Thank you, Councilman. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed, the ayes have it. The resolution is adopted.
Resolution number 2020-0153, making awards on requisition number 47764 to various providers, each in the amount not to exceed $450,000 for general architectural engineering services for the period August 5th, 2020 through August 4th, 2023.
Right. Motion to adopt.
Second.
And Mr. President, this was discussed before our Public Works Committee by Ms. Nicole English. This is a proposal award for architectural engineering services. And we would ask that the council move this forward on second reading suspension.
All those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed, the ayes have it. The resolution is adopted.
Resolution number 2020-0154, making awards on requisition number 48610 to various contractors in the total amount not to exceed $15 million for on-call COVID-19 emergency building modifications for the period August 4th, 2020 through August 3rd, 2021, with the providers as printed on the agenda.
Motion to adopt.
Second.
And Mr. President, members of the Public Works Department came before the Public Works Committee and discussed the proposed awards for round 2 of the $15 million in COVID projects coming from the CARES Act dollars. And there were no overlapping vendors here from the first round and 8 new vendors here. And I'd ask my colleagues' support on moving this through as well on second reading.
Mr. President.
Councilman Miller.
Mr. President, my colleagues, I support the building modification contract as required for COVID-19 safety at county buildings and as a high quality and diverse distribution of the work involved. I mostly desire to strongly state that this is not a no bid contract. The administration issued and widely distributed a well-defined request for proposals that resulted in receiving 20 responses, an unusually high number for any county procurement process. The responses were numerically scored on several criteria that included factors relating to quality, price, and equity. The 8 highest scoring companies were selected. The administration did a fair, competitive, and effective procurement process on this contract, and I support the legislation.
Thank you, Councilman. I'd just like to say that I'm really proud of the council and the way this legislation evolved and the cooperation between the executive administration and the council around this very significant appropriation of COVID money. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? The ayes have it. The resolution is adopted.
Resolution number 2020-0155, authorizing a sports facility agreement between Cuyahoga County, Cleveland Indians Baseball Company, and Gateway Economic Development Corporation of Greater Cleveland in the amount not to exceed $3,500,000 in accordance with supplemental trust indenture number 5 between Cuyahoga County and the Huntington National Bank as trustee, dated October 1st, 2017. This item was pending committee recommendation for this agenda, and it did receive that.
Move to adopt.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
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 Those opposed? The ayes have it. The resolution is adopted.
Resolution number 2020-0156, adopting the 2020 Economic Recovery Plan in accordance with Section 7.05 of the Cuyahoga County Charter and Section 801.01 of the Cuyahoga County Code.
Move to adopt.
Second.
There's a substitute also that's been attached, and I move that we replace the existing piece of legislation with the substitute.
Second.
Second.
Any discussion? Go ahead.
Yes,
Councilman.
this matter was heard in the Economic Development Committee. It was a direct result of the Economic Development Commission discussing the 5-year plan. The 5-year plan, it was felt this year with the COVID crisis and the epidemic that's going on and its impact on the economic drivers, that to be tighter on the focus of this year's activities, to do almost a triage on the business side. But the law director felt that it was better to make sure we actually reference the 5-year plan as incorporated by reference into the 1-year focus on this year's targets. And also, I believe Mr. Miller was supportive of that same concept. So I would ask for my colleagues to support this.
Thank you. All those in favor of accepting the proposed substitute?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. The substitute is in front of us. All those in favor of adopting the resolution on its merits as substituted, say aye.
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 Opposed? Resolution is adopted.
Okay. Resolution number 2020-0157, authorizing a grant agreement with the Cleveland Foundation in the amount not to exceed $1,500,000 to provide matching funds for the Cleveland Foundation Digital Inclusion Fund to support digital equity activities and efforts in Cuyahoga County for the period August 1st, 2020 through August 31st, 2021.
Move to adopt.
Council President, my connection is a little bad, so if I'm coming through a little delayed, I apologize. But this was heard in Human Resources Appointment and Equities Committee, and it was unanimously supported. It will address the digital divide throughout Cuyahoga County as children are returning to school. These funds will be utilized to provide them with hotspots for 2 years and also access to computers for those who are in need. And that will be in partnership with the agency listed as well as the various school districts. So I respectfully request my colleagues' support. Thank you.
Very good. Very good legislation. Councilman Miller.
Mr. President, my colleagues, this legislation builds on the initiative that Councilwoman Conwell and I advocated for during the budget process with the support of the Innovation Director, and is especially timely in the COVID-19 environment, and I strongly support the legislation.
Thank you, Councilman. All those in favor say aye.
Wait. Aye.
Councilwoman.
Aye.
Can I add my name, Madam
Yes.
Clerk?
Please add
Thank you,
Councilwoman
President.
Simon's name. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
The ayes have it. Legislation is adopted. This is, I think, some of the best legislation among the very good legislation that we've adopted recently. Thanks to all those who worked on it. And committee reports and consideration of ordinances for second reading adoption under suspension of rules. Could I have a motion to suspend the rules?
President, I move to suspend the rule.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, the ayes have it. The rules are suspended.
Ordinance number 2020-0015, authorizing the county executive or his designee to temporarily expand the electronic equipment and communications policy to define requirements for county employees working from home and connecting to the county network.
Move to adopt.
Second.
Second. Councilwoman Brown.
This item was heard in the Human Resources Appointment and Equity Committee meeting. And I don't think there were any objections by my colleagues. It was unanimously supported. So I request everyone's full cooperation and moving forward with this resolution.
Speaks for itself. We've got people working from home here, need some help. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, the ayes have it. The resolution is adopted.
Ordinance number 2020-0016, authorizing the county executive to approve hazard pay to non-bargaining county employees in accordance with the Coronavirus Relief Fund established by Section 5001 of the Coronavirus Aid, Relief, and Economic Security Act.
Move to adopt.
Second.
Second, Councilwoman Brown.
This is hazard pay for the non-bargaining.
Okay, we're having a little trouble hearing you. This is hazard pay for the non-bargaining county employees from the COVID Relief Fund. Councilman Brown, did I steal your time?
No, you're good. No, thank you. Look, save me if you can.
Okay, well, I know what it's like here. You know, it happens to me. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, the ayes have it. The resolution is adopted. I know we don't have any miscellaneous committee reports really. We had about, maybe 4 pieces of legislation introduced. I've read through them. I'm sure the chairpersons will as well. They're not time sensitive. I believe that there's no reason for us to have committee meetings until we come back into session next month. And we can take up those items at this time. I do appreciate the administration not introducing a lot of legislation on our way to this summer recess. Is there any miscellaneous business that any member would like to put before the council? Hearing none, this council meeting is adjourned.
Dan, you were going to say something.
Enjoy your time off.
Hey, Dan, you were supposed to say something.
Yeah.
Dan was going to say something.
I'm sorry. You know,
lost most of our council members, so
I'm here.
I'm here.
Well, I'm sorry, folks. I don't remember what I was going to say.
About Gene.
It'll come back to you by next month.
Sorry, I didn't realize. I thought that was. I didn't know we were quite at that point. And Gene, you didn't put it on the agenda for me.
Sorry, Mr. President.
Gene has indicated that she will be retiring as of October. And
wow, Gene.
We really, you know, I can't say how much she's contributed to this council and her knowledge. That's really, you know, just one of the most important people in terms of us being able to function and do our jobs for the last 10 years. And so you will be missed, Gene, and we'll look forward to working with you for a little while longer.
Still got 3 months to go, so.
Who's counting?
Who's counting?
Who's counting, Gene?
All right, thank you.
Good for you.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Bye, Gene.
This might
Thanks.
Talk to y'all later.
Okay.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.
She's always double dipping.